Afternoon. My name is Ramona Williams, and the topic I've chosen for my presentation is employee evaluations. Some of the objectives that are going to be handled within this presentation is just basically describing employee evaluations, giving a brief history and the purpose, how employee evaluations affect employees, and what are manager responsibilities in making sure that employee evaluations are effective, and also the future of employee evaluations within organizations. What is an employee evaluation? During my research for this presentation, oftentimes employee evaluations is also called performance reviews. So if any time you hear me say performance review, I'm still talking about employee evaluations. But basically, employee evaluations is where a manager of an organization consults with an employee on an employee's behaviors, productivity, strengths, weaknesses, and potential future within the organization based on the observations made by management. Employee evaluations has been a tool used by many organizations to help keep employees in line with the goals, keep increased productivity, and values, missions of the organization. Every organization has their methods of an employee evaluation process. Some have employee evaluations once a year, twice a year, or on a quarterly basis. But all evaluations, managers do want the same results, and that is increased productivity and continue better work results within the employee. Brief history on employee evaluations. During the 1900s, between the 17 and 1900s to be exact, people had to deal with very harsh work conditions. People were dealing with long work hours, low pay, and very hazardous safety conditions within the workplace. And this caused for employees to be very unappreciative and lack productivity on the job. Frederick Taylor, who was a mechanical engineer, observed the work environment and developed principles called scientific method management to help employees find out how to create better relationships on the job and increase productivity within employees. He developed 4 principles to help managers. The first one was basically having managers simplify the daily duties into a way that employees can better understand their daily duties. Managers also, in the second principle, had to make sure that they had the right employees doing the right jobs. Sometimes employees did not understand their duties, and therefore managers would switch them to see if something easier or if they needed something harder in order to be more effective. The third principle, managers were to keep a close eye on employees' activities and kind of think outside the box to develop ways that employees can work easier and not harder. And the fourth principle, managers should be willing to sacrifice and be willing to step down into help employees on an employee level be able to split jobs and do some of the jobs that employees do on a day-to-day basis. Taylor's introduction and scientific method opened the door to better work conditions for employees, and also other theories and methods were introduced during the 1900s to help better improve employee and manager relations. The role of the managers began to evolve from being just a delegate of duties to employees to leaders who were working and setting examples for employees within the organization. In 1950, the U.S. government established the Performance Rating Act, which allowed organizations to point out employers' strengths, weaknesses by using a rating system with 3 levels, which was outstanding, satisfactory, and unsatisfactory. Also in 1962, the Salary Reform Act was established for employees to receive additional pay for high quality performance within the organization. How does employee evaluations affect employees? For an employee, an evaluation from management can be a nerve-wracking situation. while organizations' purpose for an evaluation is to help increase employee productivity and motivate employees to continue to work, sometimes that is not always the case. Employees who agree with their evaluations become motivated. Employees doing evaluation gets perspectives on where the organization is going, the plans, or any changes that has to come that will affect the employee. As a result, whether the evaluation has negative or positive results, if the employee is in agreement with the results of the manager's evaluation, they become inspired and want to be a part of the organization. So therefore, they will have an increase in productivity within that employee because they are motivated to do better. Secondly, an evaluation gives an employee clarity. Employee evaluations can provide an employee with better understanding of their duties or any additional duties that will be given. Employees at times lose track of their daily duties, and better understanding provided by management can better prepare employees to meet management's expectations. Also, an employee evaluation can leave an employee feeling appreciated and feeling like a part of the organization. During employee evaluation, managers have the opportunity to let employees know their importance to the organization. Such affirmation coming from management allows the employee to feel a part of the organization and can improve productivity. And there are also times where employees are not in agreement with their evaluations. And when they're not in agreement with their evaluations, you can see a lack of commitment from the employees. Employees after an evaluation may feel that the manager is not properly observing their accomplishments or being overlooked by managers for certain reasons. Therefore, leaving the employee feeling as if, why do the work that they do if they're not going to receive the accomplishments for achieving some goals. Secondly, employees can feel slighted within the evaluation, therefore lose or lack of respect for management. According to Forbes.com, 55% of employees only feel that employee evaluations are effective. One reason is due to the fact that the actions and attitudes of management that stress to an employee during evaluation is not always portrayed by management themselves. As a result, employees look at management as hypocrites and not respecting their critiques during an evaluation. Thirdly, an employee evaluation can leave an employee feeling unwelcome or not a part of the organization. As a result, this can lead to turnovers and have the employee explore other options where they will be hired by an organization where they can potentially feel a part of the organization. And there are also employees who, whether positive or negative results of an evaluation, are not moved by the results. Their work productivity consistently stays at the same rate no matter what the results of an employee evaluation is. What are the manager's responsibility? Managers have the responsibility to make sure employees are within the goals and values of an organization. Managers must be mindful that they are being observed by employees as much as they are observing employees. In order for the evaluation process to become effective among the organization, managers must first make sure that an employee has adequate training prior to an evaluation. If an employee is working and unaware of the goals and has not had the adequate training to work the organization, then how can they be rated on or evaluated on a process that they are not aware of? Managers must take the time out to make sure that there is a proper training process that for employees to better understand their positions, therefore to better understand the results of their evaluations. Secondly, management must create a healthy work environment. Managers are always being watched by lower and upper level positions. Managers must make sure that there is positivity within the organization and less work drama being outputted within the organization. Setting the tone of the organization helps employees to be influenced to carry out the same tone that management is carrying out. Lastly, which is an important message for managers, is managers should not discriminate within their evaluations. Evaluation should not be based on sex, gender, social class, beliefs, or any personal issues the manager has towards the employees. Managers should rate their employees strictly based on their productivity within the organization, regardless of personal feelings. Currently, Yahoo Incorporated is facing a lawsuit for unfair termination based on performance reviews and gender bias. Back in November 2015, Yahoo laid off over 600 employees based on low performance reviews and on gender biasness, and without giving employees notification of the huge layoff that was to come. Not giving employee notification of a huge layoff is illegal in California, and employees are filing a lawsuit based on the unfair treatment of the performance reviews given by Yahoo Incorporated. The future of employee evaluations. Every organization process varies for when it comes to employee evaluations. Some, like I said before, give regular evaluations, some give quarterly, some give annually, some give twice a year. As the workforce is constantly changing, some organizations are questioning if evaluations are still effective to employee productivity. Large corporations such as GE are getting rid of their performance review process, along with other companies, because it is due to the fact that they feel that employee evaluations are doing more harm to the environment rather than more positivity. Some reasons employee evaluations are becoming effective is due to the fact that, number one, employees today tend to need more management feedback on a regular basis from management. Oftentimes, employees have no idea of their performance on the job until an evaluation. Researchers have concluded that managers continuously inputting with employees increase productivity. Employee evaluations, number two, evaluations has led to hurt the work environment within a lot of organizations, a lot of work drama and negativity among employees, and has caused turnover rates to increase in most cases. Number three, managers are not always carefully observing their employees' activities. Inaccurate evaluations calls for employees to question the right of employees in their job. Here are my references, and thank you for your time.